You build your house on the bricks that's already working. Okay? How dumb would it be for a person to find bricks to build their house, but go to another land spot, another lot, and get more bricks to build another house, but they didn't finish their other house? Why? Because you're trying to do too many different things. It's about starting one thing and finishing the one thing, the verticals, top from bottom to top. Not widespread. Not building 10 foundations, then go back and build the walls of that. No, you're going to ruin everything. And he's saying the same thing here. Once you figure out what is working, what you figure out the process of what is working, how things work, go from bottom to top. Finish it, go again. Finish it, go again. A few basic moves produce most results in income. The right action. The few things that matters beats more action. Because if everything is important, then everything loses its importance. I created the execution playbook for leaders and high performers to hit bigger goals faster with less wasted effort. Now let's get into the show. Yo, what is up, friends, family, team? If you have been getting value from what we have been diving and dissecting, then once again, I recommend you to share it with someone close to you. It doesn't have to be 5, 10, 20 people, but that next person, that person that you call your best friend, or that person that you know has a mission that's analogous to the mission that you are on, which means that they are a high performer or they are someone that is focused, and you believe these credos, the things that we are dissecting now, will benefit them, then I shall tell you or advocate to you that allow them to jump in this journey with us so that they may understand business, life, success principles that allow people to not only obtain success, but to obtain the goal post with a stature of wellness. A lot of times you see people, and many people idolize others that have a small perspective of what success is, but their success has been achieved without the well-being of peace, joy, patience, the things that matters in life. And I advocate to you, do not chase success and neglect the priceless things, but allow the priceless materials in life to overcome the valuables. Because once again, if you ever trade the priceless for valuables, you will receive an eternal debt that you cannot get out of or get back, and you must just make up for it with what you have. So jump into the credos. We are on credos 16 through 20, and this is going to be more about progress and patience and focus through the problems. And as a high-level leader, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you are, you have to understand that progress comes with resistance, and there's no progress without growth, but growth requires resistance. And so, Credo 16, competence begins with a guarantee. So, Kekit says, competence starts with guaranteeing your work. If you can't guarantee it, you haven't mastered it. You haven't. If you say this is the result I can get, I get you X result, but the ratio of you getting that result is 1 out of 1,000, and it's more of a gamble for you to get that result, you're not a master. Let this be your wake-up call. You're not a master. If you cannot guarantee it, you haven't mastered it. Your ability to tell said person, to tell said guest or client, or potential client, ideally, that yes, I guarantee you that I get X results, then yes, you are a master. Why? Because the results are a byproduct of your identity, of who you are. You don't try to manifest a result, you create them. And this is a different level. Why? Because masters They create results because of who they are. They don't attempt to manifest them. They don't search for results. Results come out of them. And your ability to be competent in what you do, your ability to say, hey, yes, I am a master at what I do. I am the best of my kind at what I do. But you can't guarantee it. You have deceived yourself. The things that you produce, you must learn how to become the master. But you cannot become a master if you cannot guarantee it. And you cannot guarantee it if the results are not one-to-one. Which means if I touch this, if I engage in this result will happen. One-to-one. My action, the result. Done. Done. Competence. Start with guaranteeing your work. But if you can't guarantee it, then you haven't mastered it. Greatness is proven by what you're willing to stand behind. Your ability to be great is proven by the principles that you don't negotiate with. This is the problem. For an example, here we go. So I was playing an elementary game. I guess people will say it's called Foursquare, and bear with me, with my friends. And we like to, be competitive with anything that exists on Earth. That we can't compete with each other. We do it. But in the middle of this game, there are set rules, and people started negotiating with the rules. And I told them, I said, it doesn't matter what you believe, what I feel, what anyone believes. We can't negotiate with the rules. The rules are the rules. Period. Done. The laws are the laws. And we believe in the laws, then we must abide by the laws. If we believe in them, of course. And for you, when you have standards, when you have beliefs, when you have processes that you believe are profitable for your success, but you start to negotiate with those, you have deceived yourself again. Why? Because you think you want what you want, but you don't. Greatness is proven by what you are willing to stand behind, by your actions, by you stand behind, perpetually through time. That is greatness. Why? Because it doesn't matter what the storm says around me, but I'm going to continue to do what I said I was going to do. And because I am the lead indicator, the lag indicators doesn't matter. Because you are the cause, your results should be the effect. It shouldn't be the other way around. Many high performers are stuck because their situation is the cause and they are the effect. They're being thrown around like a pinball machine and they have no control. Do not be the pinball. Be the arms. Allow your problems, your lifestyle, your results, your actions, behaviors to be the ball. And you be the arms tossing the pinball. If you ever played it. If you haven't, then you don't know what I'm saying. But if you have, you understand that, hey, I, as a person, shall not be tossed around. When I go through tough situations, I understand they're tough. I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to keep going. But I'm not going to allow the storm to dictate where I choose to live and build my home. There's one guy I was talking to before, and we'll move on from this. I told him I like to live in Oklahoma. I went to Tulsa, visit some friends, and I fell in love with Tulsa. And he was like, dude, I don't know about that because of the weather and tornadoes. It's like, well, if I love this place, I refuse to allow the situations and circumstances to tell me what I should do. And the same thing should be with you. Whatever situation you are in, whatever environment you are in, culture you are in, you should be the dictator. You should be the cause, and everything else around you should be the effect. My life, my environment is a byproduct of who I am. And I shall not allow the byproduct of who I am to be by the cause of my environment. Next, 17. Credo 17. Kekich says, life operates in reverse action to entropy. Therefore, the universe is hostile to life. Progress is a continued effort to swim against the stream. Money. Drifting creates decay. Discipline creates direction. If you ever watched, any vehicle drift, okay? It creates this scene where we like it as humans. Okay, I love drifting, but it's the ideal of drifting. You're pivoting, yes. You're getting around in style, yes. But for me, and my goals is not to burn wheels, waste energy, but to be sharp, discreet, and focused. And drifting is different than sharp, discreet, and focused. Okay? Formula One cars, they don't drift. Why? Because they're disciplined with direction. They're sharp. Their turns are sharp. They don't waste energy on other things. And you have to be the same way. If you are constantly in and out, focused here, not focused there, you're sharp, you're good on the straightaway, but when it's time to pivot, you're drifting. There's a lag. You're burning out. It's hard for you to get traction. If you do this over and over again in your profession, decay is coming your way. Actually, you're about to meet decay at the door. Why? Because you are wasting energy. Discipline. Formula One cars take sharp turns, calculated turns, with precision, with centimeters off from the boundary. If they hit the boundary, then they crash, they wreck. The calculated, well-timed decisions creates discipline. What is discipline? My ability to practice, to do this over and over and over again until I get the result I need. Discipline is the ability to see the opportunity and take it and do not delay time. But once I see the pocket of greatest opportunity, I grab it by its horns. Discipline creates direction. Why? Because discipline is the immediate sought of opportunity that allows direction to exist. When it comes time for you to pivot, when it comes time for you to turn and take a different direction, when you're having a tough day, when you're having things happening, and a client tells you no, you're pitching to a case to a board or a president of a company, and you're trying to buy into this idea, but they say no. If you drift, if you go waste hours of your day because of what happened, if you go lay down in the bed because of what happened, if you're down for hours because you're drifting, you're not sharp. When these things happen, when the turn approaches you, you must pivot immediately in the small second of opportunity and keep going. Why? Because another straightaway comes. You may get 4 or 5 turns consistently, but eventually a straightaway will come for you to accelerate, And everyone around you is going to be like, wow, look at him accelerate. Why? Because you didn't waste time drifting around problems. You saw it. You braked and you accelerated around the problem. Comfort is the current pushing you back. We're still talking about progress here. You being comfortable is you allowing the current to push you backwards. Your ability to be content is not comfortable. Contentment means I'm okay with who I am, but not where I am. My identity, I am solid in. I know who I am. I'm not insecure about thyself. But my production, I do not want to stay here. I do not want to be here. I would like to get better. I would like to have better actions. But who I am in my core, I am grateful and happy with who I am. And that your identity should be solid. And your ability to be comfortable should not be solid. Contentment is identity, and comfortability is personality. And comfortability should be something that we are able to document and understand. Comfort is action oriented. Identity is belief oriented. Okay. So when you are comfortable, when you are okay doing nothing, when you are okay with having goals, not having goals, when you are okay with allowing yourself to simply exist throughout time without persisting throughout time, then there's something different. Why? Because you have become comfortable and the current is pushing you back. Don't do that. Don't be ignorant of these things. Become aware with this and do not be comfortable. Live a life of discomfort. Why? Because only in the discomfort you understand what comfort you do want. And once you find what you do want, you chase what you do want to get from what you don't want to obtain more of what you do want. Okay? But you cannot ever have something that you really want until you are in a situation where you do not enjoy. Leaders embrace resistance as training, not punishment. High performers embrace resistance as training, not punishment. Get this out of your psyche that resistance is someone doing something to you. No, everything is done for you if you allow it to be. Everything. And those who appear to be successful, the people you look up to that appear to be successful, because all success is finite. Doesn't matter anyway. Everything that we accomplish on this earth really doesn't matter unless it's through relationships. Until then, it really doesn't matter. And what I'm saying is, everyone you look up to that you say are very successful aren't really that successful. The earth is over 3 billion years old. We are smaller than a speck of dust that floats in the air. And the thing is, you must stop overcompensating on the people that you look up to. Because no one's smarter than you. They only know something that you don't, believe something that you don't, and have done things that you haven't done and have more time doing it than you had. And they most likely embrace resistance as training and not punishment, because nothing is done to you. Everything is done for you through the art of capitalization if you allow it and believe it to be. Okay, Credo 18. Here we go. Hope you're ready. Find what works and multiply it. Kekit says, find out what works and then do more of it. Focus first on the things that are right and then on doing the right things by mastering the details. A few basic moves produce most results and income. If you can sit and listen to this part, this will change your life. Here we go. Breakthroughs come from mastering the basics. Here we go. This is mastering the basics. Okay. Your ability to be different, to be set apart, does it come from doing 1,000 different things? No, stop it. That is poverty encapsulated into a bottle. Like if I was to take a bottle and pour whatever solution in it, whatever detail in it, and label it, I will label it with poverty, saying that you could do 1,000 different things. Here you go. You're never going to master any of them. Why? Because success or wellness or the benefit and the empowerment of a thing only comes through the vertical and the increasing in the deepness of that thing. The tree only grows up, not wide. Listen to me. The tree doesn't focus on creating 1,000 different trees around it or growing 1,000 different branches around it. No, it grows up and branches come from it, from the vertical. Same should be with you. You want breakthrough? You focus on one thing and master it. Become great at it. Very great at it. You do not have to do 1,000 different things. No, you don't. You want to break through the wall? There are a few things that actually matter to break through your brick wall. The pressure points of your brick wall that's in front of you. The weaknesses of your brick wall. You have to understand your brick wall and your ability. Only a few things matter. It says it doesn't matter if you try to do 1,000 things, you won't get forward. Why? Because you have to master the basics. You can't be great at everything, but you can be great at one thing. The right action beats more action. Yeah, I'm still here. The right action beats more action. He says, hey, listen here, Johnny. Find out what works and do more of it. Focus first on doing the right things and then on doing things right by mastering details. Listen here. Focus first on doing the right things. Period. He says, when you go into your new job, when you go into your career, or even more of, when you face the new devil at the new level, focus on doing the right things. What is working right here? And then on doing the right things by mastering the details. Okay? So when you find out what's right, you do more of that right thing and you enhance that you found out what's already right. You build your house on the bricks that's already working. Okay? How dumb would it be for a person to find bricks to build their house, but go to another land spot, another lot, and get more bricks to build another house, but they didn't finish your other house? Why? Because you're trying to do too many different things. It's about starting one thing and finishing the one thing, the verticals, top from bottom to top. Not widespread, not building 10 foundations, then go back and build the walls of that. No, you're going to ruin everything. And he's saying the same thing here. Once you figure out what is working, what you figure out the process of what is working, how things work, go from bottom to top, finish it, go again, finish it, go again. A few basic moves produce most results in income. The right action, the few things that matters beats more action. Because if everything is important, then everything loses its importance. And if everything worked, then nothing actually works. Success is repetition, not variety. As a culture of people, we are so distracted about on the hamster wheel, doing things that don't matter, running but not going. And we do these things blindly. We believe that we are succeeding, but we're not. We believe we are progressing, but we're not. We're stationary. Success is repetition, not variety. It's saying, hey, it is not you doing a lot of things. It's you doing a lot of things of that one thing. I'm a firm believer that no one has any excuses to say something doesn't work. Listen here. You do not have any excuses for something that doesn't work or to say something doesn't work until you have put 1,000 reps into that thing. 1,000. Until you are 1,000 reps in or 1,000 hours in, you have no excuses on determining that something doesn't work. Why? Because most likely when you hit 1,000 reps, you will be so good where it doesn't even matter. When you hit 2,000 reps, 2,000 hours, it doesn't matter anymore. Why? Because you produce Results come out of you. You create them from your identity, from who you are. But it takes repetition, not variety. Number 19. Kekich says, use leverage with ideas, work, money, time, and people to maximize profits. Replicate yourself. Earning potentials become geometric rather than linear. Without leverage, effort stays linear. Why? Because you have to get a little crafty, a little different. Become a little creative with how you do things. Have some novelty in your work, in your ethic, with your people, with your time. Have some novelty. Without leverage, effort stays linear, 1-to-1. I go to work, I clock in, I make $1, leave, done. 9-to-5 job. There's no leverage. There's nothing happening. There's nothing changing. There's nothing malleable about what's happening here. Everything's the same. Without leverage, effort stays linear. Not exponential, not geometric. It doesn't stack. Why? Because you need something else in the equation for your success to bounce, to increase geometrically. Leverage is something that you can use that's currently not in the equation that will multiply your ability or your success rate. Replication is real leadership. Your ability to create yourself or someone even better than you is true leadership. Your ability to give someone the responsibility and the weight of a position where you are not totally dependent on is true leadership. When you are fully dependent on, or even increasingly dependent on, your leadership is declining. Your culture and environment of work, career, whatever, ministry is declining. Why? Because first, you are human. Your energy is not consistent. So whenever you try to produce, your ability to produce will be lagging. One day you're good, one day you're not good. And so your results, your ministry, your team, your people, your career, your job, your business, your organization, all of these things are directly proportionate to your energy. And if you're working hard enough, you will have times that you don't feel that great. So you don't want everything based upon you. Why? Because you're human and you're going to have times where you're not the best. So you need to replicate a system of people where the average is always great. Always great. Systems scale where the hustle and bustle can't. Systems are automated where the hustle can be automated. When the people can't think more, can't work harder, systems produce. Systems can be beliefs. Systems are processes. And systems is vision. Okay, we're not discussing that here. I wish we could. And when those things are embedded together in unity, it doesn't matter. Because you're not dependent on anyone else anymore. You have a system that's working together. A system that fuels itself. What does that mean? You have a system that fixes problems, creates problems, and fixes its own problems. All in itself. It doesn't matter anymore. It scales. Credo 20. Rationalization is sabotage. So, Kekich says, rationalizations are generally convenient evasions of reality and are used as excuses for dishonest behavior, mistakes, and or laziness. Excuses disguised as ambition is decay. Period. Watch yourself. Our biggest opponent, our biggest adversary can be ourselves. And you know why? Because we do not disagree with ourselves. And many times it is very, very easy and convenient for us to automatically believe that we are correct. We have to get out of the pool of self-fulfilling prophecies of the disempowering nature. We have to get out of the environment where we self-sabotage ourselves by our own disguised laziness, disguised ambition for success. No, listen. Do not have excuses. If you are not having yourself accountable by leverage of things, layers of things, different types of things, if you're not doing this, you will have decay. Why? Because we are humans. I don't care how smart you are. I'm sorry. I don't care. Oh, I've produced this. I've got this done. Shut up. I don't care. And guess what? 100 years from now, no one's going to care. Not really. And if you don't do it, someone else is eventually going to do it anyway. And it doesn't matter. So we should all lose the ego. Because if we don't get it done, someone else is going to get it done. We're all a speck. In a good way. You know, we shouldn't discard our lives and waste time. We should be grateful for it. But we shouldn't allow entitlement and ego to exist in our lives where we are driven by those things. Your rationalizations, your ability to be stubborn, to be uncompromising, is a convenient evasion of reality, Kekich says, and are used as excuses for your dishonest behavior and your mistakes and your laziness. Listen here. If you do not have a circle of people that hold you accountable, you are failing. Why? Because you are human. And if you are the best in your circle, then you need to find another circle where you're not the best. I am not moved at all by anyone who thinks they're the greatest. Why? Because they have perpetually put themselves in situations where they are the best. And there isn't many people. Actually, there isn't one person on earth that can be in any circle on earth, in all factions, and they are the best in all factions, in any circle, in any area on earth. So lose it. The only reason we have egos is when we are perpetually measuring ourselves with people below us, because subconsciously we are in those environments all the time. Don't allow that to be. Self-deception kills potential faster than failure. Your ability to continue to deceive yourselves will kill your potential faster than you failing over and over again. The last thing I need is to be chasing the wind, to catch the wind. The last thing I need is to climb a ladder to get to the top when I've always been at the bottom. The last thing I need is to hit a baseball, and it wasn't a home run, but I thought it was a home run, and build my life off that. The last thing I need is to be deceived by myself. I shall not, I will not, and you shall not either. Why? Because you will fail faster. Oh, well, I got to the top. Yeah, Danarius, I got to the top and I'm here already. Yes, I deceived myself, but look where I'm at now. You're going to fail. Because why? Because a balloon that elevates too high will eventually pop. Yes, it got high, but it didn't have the structure to sustain the success, the height. Accountability is the ultimate antidote to drift. Remember, drifting is your ability to not pivot fast enough around something that comes your way. There's a lag of pivoting. There's a lag of turning, of taking action, of capitalizing on a thing. You have something happen to you. You feel like it happened to you, not for you. And instead of you making the best of that situation, you cower it out. You take time. You rest. You do nothing. And this is saying, hey, accountability is your ultimate antidote for drift, is your antidote for drifting. If you don't want to drift, you need to have a circle of people that keep you accountable. You need to have beliefs, structure. You need to have things in your life that keeps you accountable. Why? Because we're humans and we are like water. And once you pour water on the floor, it goes the easiest way of least resistance. And we are the same way if we don't keep ourselves accountable. So what you should do is allow yourself to be accountable to drifting. Okay? So final challenge for you. This is it. Or the challenge, I guess it would be. Find one area where you are rationalizing, where you are being stubborn, uncompromising, and replace that excuse of lack of performance, of weak, dishonest behavior with an empowering standard that you will not negotiate with. Keep that, lean on that, dive all into it and embrace it. And I will talk to you next week. Deuces.